Hey, what is going on? Welcome to Goddess of Many Faces here on the YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a lovely night. My night is going well. I'm in good spirits. Um, Unfortunately, I can't sleep. I actually got sleep earlier in a day. And what's ironic about that is when I was sleeping, I don't really recall none of my dreams from earlier, but that's a good thing pretty much because I feel well rested and I'm up. I do have a busy day tomorrow, but hey. So today's topic is, can someone enter your dream or summons you, right? And some astral travel and talking about crazy dreams. And, you guys already know how I feel about astral travel. Um, I shared many different experiences of that on this page. Um, but do I believe that someone can enter your dreams or summons you? Yes. I honestly do think that is definitely possible. Um, Now, as far as like, see, when people hear, "Oh, can someone enter your dreams or summons you?" the first thing that they want to know how to do is do it. The first thing that comes to their mind is, "Oh, well, can you show me how to do it? How is that possible?" Because the thing is that it's people that's like advanced as far as um with dreams. And that's a fact. Like, not everybody's going to sit back and tell you exactly what it is that they do, you know? Um, but the key thing is that if someone else can do it, anybody could do it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like um, when you read in these different books in reference to dreams and stuff like that, right? Because um, they're giving you kind of like different tools on how to utilize um, these skills or how to pretty much enter people's dreams or being summoned to a dream, right? And a lot of times I feel like not all of these stuff works. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you got to figure out what kind of works for you. Um, this is not really a video on how to do it, but pretty much on whether or not if it's a possibility that it can be done, like whether or not if you could, can it be done? And the reason why I honestly believe that it can be done because it happened to me. I had people into my dreams. I definitely did. And I also have been summoned um, to someone while I was dreaming. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you sleeping and someone's calling on to you, which is the craziest. Like, at the time, I didn't know, because this happened so many years ago, so long ago. Um, it happened so long ago. I kind of like, I think I shared this on here. I probably did. Um, I have my little water with ice. So like, if you hear me like drinking and stuff like that, this is live. Um, so I did share this before on this platform, my experience. Do I want to go into details as far as what led up to how it happened? No, I don't really want to go into that because I just feel like that's very insignificant. But what I do remember about being summoned, right? um some being summoned to someone, right? Which is just it just sounds crazy. Like it sounds like it, I don't know, it just sounds so crazy. I think I feel like I just got to get out of that kind of that mindset of feeling like, people are going to judge like the topic and stuff like that. So, because I'm not even gonna front, like, because it is what it is. Because these are conversations or topics that I don't generally have with people with everyday life. So it seems a little bit weird, and you know, and I know people is gonna go crazy in comments, but it's like, you know what, I'm over it, whatever. And I shared this story before on other videos, but I'm gonna obviously share it again. Um, but I just remember being in. This is happening when I'm sleeping. I had went to sleep. I had just a regular dream, and then somehow I ended up in this living room. And the living room kind of looked like old school. You know how you at your grandmother house and it's like plastic on the furniture. You know what I'm saying? They trying to preserve the furniture, even though the furniture ain't look all that. You know what I mean? Like you know them households with that they got the furniture wrapped up in plastic because they. You sit on it, your whole butt side be wet, your back be wet, you be stuck to it. It was like kind of like one of those kind of like old school living rooms. And um I don't know, I was having some crazy ass dream prior to that. And um all of a sudden when I'm in this living room, I become aware, like I become lucid. I become like oh shit, I'm dreaming. That's the energy I was feeling. I was kind of like looking around and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh shit. Let me stop cursing. I was like, I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming. Like I became aware. And normally during this particular time of my life, um, when I become aware of that I'm dreaming, I always want to switch the dream around. Like I knew that I had the ability to switch the dream around because this was not my first lucid dream. So I've become through experiences. This was nothing that I read in a book, none of that stuff, but through me just dreaming and realizing that when I become aware or conscious in a dream, that I'm able to change the scenery, right? And typically, I've I always change the scenery to like it's always like some neighborhood or where I'm like flying and I'm jumping from building to building because I like flying. Like whenever I become like lucid and aware in a dream, I just like to fly. And the way that I fly, I don't fly like Superman. I fly like I shoot up in the air. Like I jump high and stuff. So I enjoy that. And then there's other activities that I enjoy as well, but I'm not going to further explore that. But the flying is something it's just fun that I enjoy doing. And I just like to switch the dream around, switch the scenery and everything. And when I became aware, I'm in this living room looking around, everything looks old school. And I'm like, oh, I'm aware, but then I can't change nothing. It's like my mind is like, because normally how I switch stuff in the dreams is I utilize my mental energy, my mental forces, and it wasn't working. It was just like as if I was in this reality. You know how this reality, in order for you to be anywhere else, You gotta physically go there. Like, I can't just think about going to the store and being at the store. I have to actually go out my house and walk to the store or drive to the store. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't just think about being at Walmart. I would have to drive all the way to another state to go to Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, right? You have to physically do the work. Well, not physically do the work, but physically move your body um, to be somewhere else in this current reality, not in a dream world. So with the dream world and being lucid is like I feel like thinking about it was putting me there, right? That's what I through experiences, that's what I've learned or whatever like that. That's where based off of my experiences, not what I read out of a book or anything like that. But what I noticed is that it wasn't really happening. It wasn't happening at all, right? And then it was like this long hallway, and I'm walking in this hallway, and then all of a sudden I see like a big altar with nothing but candles. It was just like as if you went into a Catholic church. You know how you go into a Catholic church or even outside of the Catholic church, you see all these 7-day candles and different candles, and it was like a lot of it. It was just a lot, like in a hallway. You know how like a hallway is when you think about a house. I mean, an apartment or yeah. I don't know if this was a house or apartment, but a hallway, and you walking down a hallway, and then all of a sudden on like the right side there was like a whole bunch of candles. It was like when I tell you it was so many candles, it was like a lot of candles. And then I was like, what the hell? And then it's crazy because I was in, I could see myself, but also I was like, I was myself too. It was like different viewpoints within it. Because it's like when I'm thinking about it, I could actually see it. And so I was like kind of a little bugging out still, like, because I couldn't change the dream or whatever. I couldn't, even though I was aware, like, oh my God, I'm dreaming. So right across from this big old altar with all these candles was a kitchen, and it was like this person that was like shape shifting into like different people, like literally like shape shifting, like different, just shape shifting. And then I'm like, where am I at? Why am I here? It was something along the lines. I was saying that because I was bugging out, right? Like, why am I here? Like, I was bugging. Like, I was literally bugging because it was just like, I have never experienced nothing like that. And then all of a sudden, the person stopped shape shifting and like turned into like some type of man. And he was like, oh, I brought you here. The guy said, I brought you here. That's exactly what this man said to me. He was like, I brought you here. And when I tell you, when he said that, instead of me just calming down and having a conversation with the man to find out, like, why did you bring me here? Or what is this all about? Like with my level head right now, the way I am, the way I'm thinking about it, like, I could have had a conversation. Like, this could have been um, a learning moment. This could have been, I don't know. I don't know. It could have been something other than what it was. But I started bugging out. Like, I literally started running up and down that hallway. Like, I was bugging. Like, I just went into like I was having a moment. Like, I was tweaking. Because I'm like, number one, you dreaming. Number two, you know that you can't change nothing. That's when I realized about lucidity, like being lucid in a dream. Like, you're aware, but what happens when you're aware and you can't change nothing? Then that means that in essence, there has to be some type of astral travel. Like, You know, in this case, this was me being summoned to somebody that I don't even know who this person was. That's the crazy thing. Like, I don't even know who this person was at all. At all. Like, I don't know who this was. Like, this was some type of dream that was just the craziest ish. And then that's when I realized, well, I didn't realize in that dream. I realized many years later. Because eventually, like, I was running around and then I was able to, like, wake up eventually, right? But many years later, what I realized what this was a summonsing, like you being summoned into someone's dream, right? And the crazy thing is, like you would say to yourself, like, well, with me, right? Like this is something that has happened in real time, like because it's kind of interesting to know that you could be aware of certain dreams and then you can't even change nothing. That's that's the most craziest thing ever. I don't know if it was kind of like a blockage or right cuz this is how my mind works. I just like to just think of things in different ways. Um just to get certain answers cuz when I tried to research this, I couldn't really find nothing. Like if you guys are tuning in, this is your first time listening to this, and you guys have had this same experience, or if you guys know any books that talk about this, definitely put it in a comment section because I want to know because I just found it very interesting, but at the same time, it was very odd. Like, even for somebody to answer my question, like in the dream, it's just like the dude was like, "I brought you here." Like that joint just made me. It was like scary. it was it was in essence scary, but then in hindsight, when I think about it, I could have been on some. I could have got my questions answered. Like, why did you bring me here? Like, what's the point of this? Right? Like, and then it makes me think about how people receive certain messages from dreams. Like, um, people talk to past loved ones who, you know, family members, relatives, friends, people that, that they knew who have some messages. But my thing is, um, was this person even someone who passed on? Like, could this just very been just someone else who was in another part of the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, who got some information that they wanted to let me know about? Like, it's just interesting. Like when I think about that experience that I had with the dream, like, could this very been a distant relative that I never knew about that had information for me that passed on, or could this just have been someone who was just a random guy who just had a message for me? I don't know. It was just interesting to see how that happened. You know what I'm saying? How, that happened. And I find it interesting. And to this day, I be like, well, damn, why would someone bring me? Like, what you got to tell me? hmm But like I said, in the comments, definitely leave your experiences. If this is your first time, definitely subscribe to the channel. Definitely do that. Because I'm interested to know if you guys have had this same experiences because that was just the craziest the for this day. I feel like that's the craziest experiences that I have had. And I had another person who like into my dream and visit me, but it was just kind of like a weird experience. It was like a weird interchange. It was just weird. You know what I'm saying? Cuz it was just weird. That that you know, that was just weird. And I think um can people, cuz someone said like what if they have to know that you're sleeping, know the time when you were sleeping so that they can enter your dream. But what if they don't have to do that, right? Cuz they say like in the dream realm is no time, right? Um it's like you have foresight in a dream, right? You know how some people be like, "Oh, well, you could get premonitions on what's going to happen in the future," right? Like you could some people like, "Oh, well, you could time travel in a dream." Right? But if that's really a theory, I mean, if that's really, I don't want to say if that's really a theory, but if that's something that is that can really happen, then do you really have to be asleep for somebody to enter a dream that you're going to be having in the future, right? And give you a message? Can someone? It just sounds so fucking. It sounds insane. Like I'm trying to word it in a way. Like I remember in the past, like I used to try to have these conversations with like old friends and stuff like that. Like, cause I used to just be into dreams, right? And it just sounds so funny. Like I don't know, but I'm talking about when you sleep. It just sounds fucking crazy, son. Like I don't know, like I don't know. I just hope I'm saying it right. Like let's say for instance, like you go to sleep, right, and you like either time traveling to your past, to the present, or the future, right? So if people really have the ability to enter your dreams, right, and in essence, if they enter in your dreams and they really enter in your mind, right, and your thoughts and your the essence, right? But then really, if that's the case, right, like they enter in your mind, or maybe they not entering your mind. Maybe you are well then that has to be a thing like people entering your mind. That sounds right. Maybe I'm not saying it right. I don't know. This is I can't even erase this shit. I can't even. It's live. All right, so because I'm just trying to just think about this for a minute because it's like because someone said like yo people can enter your dream but they got to know when you're sleeping and stuff like that, right? But if you have the ability to time travel while you're sleeping, then possibly you could time travel to a time when this person is sleeping and they're going to have the dream in the future, but they just didn't have the dream yet. You know, it's weird to explain it. I don't know. Maybe I'll write about it first. But I guess I could kind of like do research and see whether or not if this is really a phenomenon because this is just a topic idea that I have based off of my own experiences, not anybody else's because that's the only thing that I can do now. It's kind of like talk about my experiences with like dreams and people entering your dreams. And but the point I was trying to make is like, if someone has to be into your dream while you sleeping, they have to know like, oh, you're going to sleep at this time, right? Like, oh, but if you don't know that person, how you know they're going to sleep? Like, and you live on another part of the world. Like, let's say you live um in California. I mean, in the West Coast, right? And then this person live on the East Coast, right? It's like an hours of difference, right? And then other parts of the world where it's a whole nother day, like, you know what I'm saying? It's so many hours apart that when I'm in Wednesday, you still in Tuesday, type of type of thing, right? But how can someone really say that you're sleeping? How can they know that you're sleeping, right? But then this is theory with this astral travel, right? Because remember, astral travel is really supposed to be in real time, right? But it's really like some aspect of yourself being ejected, right? Um, I haven't really did so much research on this. This is just my thoughts. So, like, for instance, what I've noticed, right? Because I astral projected, like, it's crazy because like I had this crazy experience with this woman, right? And somehow I don't even know this woman, right? It was just like an exchange. Like I bought something, and she coughed in my face, and I felt like very offended by it. And but I already paid for it, and I felt like I didn't really want to like pop off on her or whatever. And so I kind of like did like, yo, I paid with the card. So I'm like, I'm getting my money back. Like, you know how you hit up the bank, like, listen, I want my money back type of shit, right? And so I got my money back because I already paid for it. But I just feel like, I just didn't want to, I just didn't want to pop off on her. Like, it was just like, I'm like, nah, because if I pop off on her, I'm a fight her. Like, I'm gonna fight her. Like, that's the energy that I felt. Like, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna take this, whatever. You know, people is just like the most rudest shit. So I got my money back, right? But then the place put they put the charge back on, like probably like a week later, and then I disputed it, and I won or whatever, because I'm like, I'm not about to, like, you coughed in my face. I'm not about to, I don't want nothing from you. Bitch, that shit went in garbage. I want my money back. I got the money back. And then, like, probably like a week later, it was like some shit, like, where I was like in between a sleep state. And then the woman was like Asians, and I like in this in between sleep state. Then this Asian bitch came, like trying to get at me. Like it was just weird. It was just like some crazy ish. And then she had like she had some black guy with her that was like, he was just like a weird character, like, you know what I'm saying? But it was like some in between sleep state, and then I kept seeing like these different um images, like different, it was just like a crazy attack that I have never like experienced before, whatever, right? But I was able to get out of it. But then I grabbed this black dude and I got him out. He was like in some type of bondage. It was just like the craziest experience, right? And I'm like, I have never experienced nothing like that before. You know what I'm saying? Like some Asian woman, like, you know what I'm saying? And then I started seeing all these different images, and it was just like a crazy attack that I have never experienced before. And I feel like, you know, it was something associated to that, but it's just could have been a random. But like I said, it was like kind of like an in between sleep state because people be talking about how, oh yeah, the witch is riding you and shit like that, right? But with the in between sleep state, right? A lot of things like I feel like that kind of like leads you to eject into an astral projection. Like I remember in this book, they talk about like you vibrating and all this stuff, right? But only like a couple of times I felt like the vibrations before like ejecting, like, having coming out my body and stuff like that. But a lot of times it be like the in between sleep state and you just hear like different people talking, and it's kind of like that song that Juice WRLD has. Like he got a song called Lucid, and you hear how the people are talking, and it sounds like just people talking. That's how it sounds in an in between sleep state. Like at least for me, like it just sounds like people are like just talking loud, depending on where you at. You know what I'm saying? Or do you start feeling people touching you? It's just a weird ass, depending on where you at or at. And like this other experience, right? It was like it was weird. So I was laying down and I went to sleep. I didn't fully go to sleep because I was in an in between sleep state, but I felt like somebody was attacking my hands. Like this person, whoever it was trying to like get at my hands. Like where I work, like, I work with my hands or whatever. Like, you know, I need my hands. And so somebody was kind of like attacking my hands, but then that's when I had figured out how to get out of it. Like some people, they would just like lay there and let it happen. But I don't know, like I was at a space where I was like mentally strong and I was able to like get out of it like within like seconds. Like once I realized that was happening, I got up, did my little whatever, boom, 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 boom. I'm not gonna say what I did, and I had a good night's rest. Like it was none of that. None of that was happening no more, right? But then what's crazy is, right? Because I felt like the person was attacking my hands. The next day when I did what I had to do, I seen this girl and all of a sudden her hands was wrapped up and shit. And I'm like, oh, that had to be you try to come for me type of, because I sent that shit right back. So I was like, oh, okay, I know where this shit came from. It was something like that. Like, yo, it was crazy. Like I'm telling you, like people be trying to get at you on all different levels. Like it's weird. And it's just like you could be like the sweetest person, nice and everything, right? And I was just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That is so interesting. But it's always like that in between sleep state. Like earlier today or yesterday, I was telling you guys about how with this in between sleep state, it was like this entity that was really literally getting at me. Like he looked like the Grim Reaper. Literally. It was like I was being forced to kind of like go to sleep to have this encounter with whatever this shit was. It was just crazy. But see, that day had a certain that day was just crazy. I don't even want to go into the day or whatever, but I just remember like, yo, that was the most craziest ish ever. Um that I experienced, like with that in between sleep state. And I'm just being honest. These are just my experiences with that, and it used to scare me so much, right? Like I mean, freaking, I used to be freaking scared. Like I never, for a long time, I didn't like sleeping on my back. Oh my God, I hated sleeping on my back because every time I would sleep on my back, that's when I would have those experiences. And so I used to associate me sleeping on my back with me getting stuck, right? And so for a long time, I would try to sleep on my sides and stuff like that. But I like sleeping on my back, and I had to just conquer that fear and figure out a way to kind of like um, maneuver it, you know. And I want you guys to comment, if you guys have ever had any similar experiences. Have you guys ever, boy, they call it sleep paralysis, you know, that's a term for that. Um, but I just feel like it's a little bit more to it, than just this whole sleeping paralysis thing. You know what I'm saying? Based off of my experiences, people could say what they want to say, right? None of this stuff happened when I was like awake, like right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I associated me sleeping on my back with getting stuck, right? But then I had to get over that. I'm like, yo, whatever. Whatever's going to happen, let it happen. I just had to just alleviate that. Like, I just had to, I just had to kind of like um, conquer my fear of certain things, right? And just be like, yo, I'm gonna get some good sleep. Like, if I, sleeping on my back, that's what I'm gonna do. And so, with this whole, really, uh, with that whole people entering your dreams, you would say to yourself, like, how would someone enter my dream and how would they even know if I'm sleeping or not, right? Because um, you would say, like, not you would say, but just talking in general, right? People may believe that, people enter their dreams and they only enter their dreams while they sleeping. But then how would they know you sleeping? That's the thing. Like, if you don't talk to this person, right? Because it's just nosy people out there. People who just want to be all up in your damn business. People who don't like you for no reason. They don't like, oh, I don't like her because she got on earrings. I remember when I was like in the third grade. I was like in the third or second grade. I remember this. It was the third grade. And I had on some earrings. And this girl just was like, oh, I don't like you. I don't like your earrings. I, I'm going to beat you up after school type of shit. Like, I'm like, what? Because I got on earrings. Like, that's like, people just don't like you for no reason. Fast forward to being an adult, like, people get mad because you get certain promotions at work, or you in certain positions that they want to have, and then they don't like you. People spreading rumors. You feel what I'm saying? Like, or it's over a man. Oh, I don't like you because my man like you. Like, weird stuff. I just feel like it's just weird stuff, and then people try to like get at you on all different levels. And before, I used to think like, oh well, if be positive, have a nice attitude, be nice to people. People are genuinely going to be nice to you, and that's not the case. People could not like you for whatever reason. And then to take it a step further, people may pretend to be your friend just to get into your business, just to have something to talk about, and to, just to have something on you. You feel what I'm saying? But that's just whatever. But how these people are finding out stuff about you is because people are, you know, astral traveling. You know what I'm saying? That's my theory. Like, because, I mean, you could get a book on astral traveling, right? But for someone who really have mastered that, right? So astral traveling is supposed to be something that's like in real time. Like, okay, it's not even really you going to sleep, right? It's really about uh the meditation aspect of it. Like, you taking yourself to sleep. You're not just going to sleep to kind of like what is it called? Refuel yourself. Like, you go to sleep and you letting your body get rest. You building up your energy, and then you getting up and you feeling like, oh yeah, I'm well rested or whatever. But it's some people that go to sleep and they wake up and they still tired. Like, what's that all about, right? But anyway, so you have people that's intentionally taking themselves into uh uh to these different realms of life, right? And that people potentially don't really know about. And it's like, you ever been in your house, right? And you just feel like somebody watching you, or you feel like, you could be just sitting, because you know how when you turn on the TV, right? And when you turn on the TV, you immediately feel like a certain energy that like comes out, at least with me. Like, I don't know how anybody else feels, but you could feel a switch in the room, like from the TV being on for the TV being off. Like, you could feel that, the energy shift, right? You ever been in a room and you just feel like a shift in energy, or you start feeling goosebumps, or like weird vibes and stuff like that? I don't know if you guys have ever had experiences with, like, see, now this is taking it a step further, right? Like with ghosts and stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, people who have ever seen like ghosts in real life, like not on TV, like people who have paranormal experiences, right? When you like, when the energy like shifts, like you just feel it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say if you're laying down with your eyes closed and somebody walks into the room and don't say nothing, right? And then, no matter of fact, a better example would be like a blind person, right? You would ask yourself, how does a blind person know when somebody else comes in the room, right? You know what I'm saying? Because they feel the energy, they feel something, like they other senses is heightened. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, they'll be like, "Well, who's there? Who just walked in the room?" Even though they, you know, maybe you'll say to yourself, "Oh, well, they heard footsteps." But what if someone comes in a room and they don't have no shoes on or nothing like that? How would you navigate that? Like, even in a room, you don't even have to be blind or nothing like that. But you laying in the room with your eyes closed. Like, let's say you meditating or whatever, right? And somebody else walks in the room and they don't even say nothing. Your body could feel it, you know? So with the whole astral traveling thing, is some people just, they know how to do that stuff. Like, they know how to really get themselves into uh, a state where they can astral travel anywhere, anywhere, and look at you, like get on the same plane as you, right? Like the plane that you are in, right? Not everyone has mastered that. They could astral travel, right? But then they might not be on the same plane. Like, if that makes any sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they could astral travel, but they could be at a different plane or existence in time. Like, it's kind of weird to explain. I don't know. These are my thoughts. These are my thoughts. Based off experiences, the stuff that I read. Um, so, uh, but as far as like seeing everything, some people could um go into that and just see everything. Like, they know how to tune into where you are at and watch you. And it sounds really creepy and weird though. Like, it really does. Cause it's like, in my mind, it's like Why would someone do that though? But it's just like people are crazy. You know what I'm saying? People are. Well, I don't want to really say, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure, if women had the ability to astral travel and spy on a man, that's what they'd do rather than put these devices on them. You feel what I'm saying? You got people that's going to further extents and just leaving recording devices around just to figure out if they man cheating. But if you really had the ability to really astral travel and physically see what someone is doing, would you do it? And would that be the same thing as remote viewing, right? People talk about like remote viewing. Like what really is remote viewing? People say like the military or the government does remote viewing. But what's that? You know what I'm saying? I just feel like with this whole astral travel, like yeah, people could do it, but if it's like a mastered thing that they have, if it's something that they actually mastered, right? Because it's like, yeah, you can astral travel, but what if you astral travel and it's not? I mean, it's in real time, but it's in a different realm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you in the same room, but then if you're not on uh, the same, well, when I say same vibratory as a person, because it's like with my room, for instance, right? My room looks different on different realms, different time. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know. It's a weird concept to explain, but I think that people who have necessarily mastered that, where they can do astral project to where you are at, and then they can see that what your schedule looks like, or if you're about to go to sleep, right? Or if they astral travel and into your dreams. But really, is it really them astral traveling to where you are at, right? And then entering your dreams? But then you have to question that if someone really has the ability to really enter your dreams, then that means that they really are entering your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just some that's a question. I think I'm gonna do like conduct some research around that because it's just very interesting to really, you know what I'm saying? Because when you go to sleep, it's really like you accessing different portals within your mind, right? But then, really, are you or are you ejecting? Is your spirit or soul or whatever that comes out? You know what I'm saying? Like some people have this theory that when you wake up before your body does. Like some people don't see it as like, oh, it's a witch riding you and you being held down and all that stuff. Some people feel like it's some people feel like it's because your body didn't make it back yet or something like that. It's some weird shit. I don't know. You know, it's interesting. But I guess I'm pretty sure like this world has been here for so many eons, so for so long. I'm pretty sure it's so much research that has been done on it. There has been research that has been on dreams and different symbols, but when you think about like astral travel and people entering your dreams and summoning you while you were dreaming, you know what I'm saying? To this day, I think about Like when I was summoned, I'm like, was that person a woke person? You know what I'm saying? Did he do this intentionally? You know what I'm saying? Like, or was this something random? But I'm pretty sure it wasn't random. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. And then you would ask yourself, how can someone really do that? You know, how can a person does do that? How can you bring someone to where you are at if they're sleeping? How can you summon someone's um dream spirit, I guess? I don't know, dream soul or whatever you want to call it, like thoughts. How can you summon someone else's thoughts? It's weird. Like that should sound like something you talk to your psychiatrist about, you know? Like, it do like I got to get over this because I'm like I'm pretty sure it's been um different research and stuff like that about it, but it's just very intriguing. But I'm pretty sure it has been people out there who have mastered these different art forms as far as well art forms sleep, you know what I'm saying, dreams. People well, I got this book on astral travel, and it was kind of like low key boring or whatever. But with them, they feel like in their book, it was like that. They feel like you can't be stressful when you go to sleep. You can't have that much stress in order to like astral travel. And they feel like people who astral travel, like once they like the young people always like to get it popping, like do some very adult things, in the dreams. Like that's all they want to do is a very adult things. Like okay, but it's just very interesting. But I just find that to be uh something I want to further explore, and um I guess if you guys have anything that you may want to add to this, um definitely put in the comments any links to any video, perhaps if you want to make a response video, definitely do so. But I just find it to be very like interesting. And then as far as like dreaming about like wolves, werewolves, and vampires and stuff, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother topic. Like, yo, I think I'm gonna do a video about like the whole vampiric, the vampires. Like, cause it's definitely a world with vampires and that vampiric energy that's just like, yo, it's running rapid, like with that. But there are definitely many different worlds in the dreams. But, you know, it's just interesting because it's like, because it's really your mind, like you're going to sleep, right? Um, I'm gonna share this. It was one night I went to sleep and I went to like so many different worlds. Like it was just crazy. And how I was entering this world, I was like in this kind of like portal shit. And I seen some people, it was like this one particular girl that kept popping up. Like she was like an old friend of mine. And she kept popping up like in these different worlds that I was visiting that night. It was just crazy. Um, and I was like, I felt like why is she there? Like what the hell is that all about? You know what I'm saying? It was just weird to me. But like it was just like people was like just living life in different ways. Like that was not like traditional norms in this world, like in this real world. It was just like so weird. It was just like the weirdest thing ever. I don't know. The thing that I kind of like strive for is being conscious and being aware, like when I am entering like these different worlds and stuff like that. Because it's like some people I don't want to dream about. Like I'm not even gonna hold you. Like you guys already know how I feel about celebrities. I don't want to dream about no damn celebrity, and I damn sure don't want to dream about people that you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to have nobody in my dream from the workplace. That's just my thing. Like I don't like that. It's just it's something about that. Like you know what I'm saying? It's just like it's weird to me. Like I don't know, but unless it's like a friend or you know, cause like in a workplace you make friends and stuff like that. But if it's like you trying to just go to work and make your money and come home, and do your job efficiently and work as a team and stuff like that. I, I'm not feeling that. Like I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Like some things I just be like, yo, I don't know. Um, I remember somebody said like, oh yeah, well your mind is that astral world. Like your mind is um something like um somebody said that. And I'm like, as far as like alleviating stress, a lot of people get stress from like work. So it's just like when people leave work, they bring work home. And then that'll be like, you know what I'm saying? At least people be talking about like who wants to sit home and while you in a different um uh when you're in a different place, different time. Like presently you're not working. So why would you waste your time even talking about that? That shit is weird. Like you feel what I'm saying? It's just like your home life has certain issues and demands that you need to focus on in a present moment, right? And it needs to be like separated from the two because it's like why would I want to sit down with my man and talk about how work was, or he sit with me and talk about it's like you know what I'm saying? That's just I don't know. I don't think that's like after a while you don't want to bring work home to your family because it's like they don't care, right? And who want to bring work to your dreams, right? Unless it's um certain messages that you're receiving, right? Because people could receive certain messages, but I don't know. I find certain things like very alarming. That's just with me. Mm-mm. Especially if you do something like stressful and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, you receive messages in your dreams. You do. But just kind of like being mindful of where your mind is at. Like, that's why I have to always like check in with myself whenever, I had a stressful day, I have to do things to alleviate it, right? And I don't want to bring in yesterday into today, like yesterday's stresses into today. That's just where I'm at with it. Um, Although I don't like certain dreams about celebrities and stuff like that, but I don't know because I just feel like certain things become symbols, right? And they represent certain things. Um, and I guess some is trying to communicate, but I just feel like I don't know. I just don't like. That's my pet peeve. I don't want to dream about no damn celebrities. I just don't. It's just that shit is just weird. Like it's just I don't know. I don't know what that is. Anybody in the comments sections, if you feel this way, let me know. Cause I had some wild, crazy dreams. It's just like I don't know. It's just weird. I rather dream about somebody that I have never met. Like, oh shit, um, I never seen this person before, but I don't know. That's just me. Maybe I'm just being very weird about it. You know what I'm saying? Because of course you're gonna have dreams about your everyday life, maybe. But certain things I just be trying to. I like the new stuff. I like to. I feel like, to me, especially when I was a kid, I felt like dreams was escapes. Like you could go to sleep and be in a whole candy factory or something like that, or like be at an amusement park. Like I don't know, like that's just um, the energy that I feel like dreams should bring. It should feel like euphoric, almost, right? Um, or maybe not even dream at all. Some people just go to sleep and just wake up. They like, I ain't dream about nothing, but really, you probably did, but you just didn't remember. But some people just be like, yo, I close my eyes and I'm waking and I just open my eyes. That's all it is. No activity or whatsoever. And I remember I watched this movie. It was a crazy movie and it was about dreams, right? It was this guy, right? He was like a professor, I think. He was like a teacher. And random people used to just dream about him. Like, I don't know, like initially I think his one of his family members, his child or somebody in his family, had a dream about him. And it was like, oh, well, I dreamed about you last night, blah, 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 blah. And then when he went to school to teach the class, and a lot of his students was like, oh, I just dreamed about you. You was just there and all this stuff, you know. And then things started getting weird because it's like the whole world started dreaming about this one particular man. I forgot what the movie was called. I forgot. And then the whole world started dreaming about him. But it wasn't like, oh, stuff was happening. It was just like he was just there in a dream. Like he was just like they'll be doing something and he'll just be standing there. But then things started to become weird when people started having nightmares about him. And then he ended up like losing his job. His wife left him, all this crazy stuff. And then like people I guess forgot about him, and then someone made some type of device where they can enter people's dreams, but people was just entering people's dreams just to advertise something to them. Like they had people made some device where they could go to sleep, and then if they had like they were selling some sneakers, they could like sell it to them. They'd be like, oh well, they advertise whatever they could advertise in your sleep type of ish, right? And then a guy who everyone was initially dreaming about, wanted to like, enter people's dreams again because it became like this popular thing, right? But people wasn't really jacking him because they had bad dreams about him or whatever like that, which is crazy. But um, that movie was good. I don't even know what that movie was called, but it was really good. And for someone like that, that's a bit extreme. Like, you know what I'm saying? You go to work like let's say you go to work, right? And you take public transportation. When you on public transportation, you bombarded with all these different advertisements. Now it's like they have like um TV screens and all this stuff. Like you know, even if you're driving in a car, you see billboards, people constantly, you bombarded with advertisement. You on your phone, you're bombarded with advertisement. It's certain people that you watch that you are intrigued with what they're talking about, or intrigued with what they're showing you how to do stuff, and then they even selling you stuff, right? Then you have, like, you listening to music, then you watch certain videos, and then you see certain um advertisements in a video where they, you know, trying to get you to uh buy some type of music product like headphones, or you know, a microphone or whatever. Like, people are selling, constantly selling stuff to you all day long. Like, or it never ends. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have a house full of everything and there's nothing else that you need, but people will try to convince you to buy some shit. So with this particular movie, I'm like, it would be crazy if in your house you go to sleep and these people enter your dream and start selling you stuff, selling you products. Like, it's just a never ending consumerism. It's just crazy. Um, that was a crazy movie, but I feel like if people did have the ability to enter your dreams, they would definitely, like, with at a uh mass rate like that, you know, that would be crazy if someone's trying to sell you something, right? What's on, my phone went off. They try to sell you something. And it was like another movie where the guy was trying to plant an idea in somebody's head so that they could make another business, so they could do something in reference to their business, and they had to enter the dream to plant the idea and make them feel like it was their idea when it really wasn't. It was just the most craziest thing. But let me know how you feel about if someone can enter your dream, and do you feel like someone has entered your dreams or even summons you. Let me know in the comment section. I'm about to get off of here. I am starving. I don't know why every time I do a video I'm always like starving, but I'm gonna come back on. I don't know if I'm gonna come back on live. I probably do a video or something like that. I don't know. We'll see how the day goes. But definitely comment. If this is your first time tuning in, definitely subscribe.